think we got this on lock. There we go. Got to skip my own ads. Beat my own ads. YouTube ads. Beat my own ads. What's going on, everybody? Laird Farmer 73 here. Thank you for coming to hang out with me. I'm so excited that I couldn't wait another 5 minutes. I was actually going to say, it actually said 15 minutes earlier, but that was, 10 minutes ago, and I got caught up doing something else. So I was like, I still want to go earlier. 5 minutes. My patience ain't worth a darn. Good to see everybody in here. I hope I can pull this off. It's good to see you. We got a guest right off the bat, but I really want to get going on this, because at the end of this, I want to have some testimonies, what I'm going to call tiny testimonies of if you are living in a smaller house. Now, this whole tiny house Tuesday, these tiny Tuesdays, they're not going to be just about tiny houses. It's going to be about everything, just like down in the ticker below. It's going to be about downsizing everything in our lives, our health, our weight, okay, our finances, our overspending. We're trying to just downsize on all of that stuff. And I think this is a pretty cool way to do it. So I've been thinking about this for a long time. We got a lot of footage to let everybody see. It's going to be coming out slow because I got to find it all, but we've been looking at this stuff for a long time. So you're going to see some old videos. You're going to see some new ones. You might even see some where we're not even in South Carolina. So I want to say thanks everybody for coming. I'm going to just right out the gate introduce a guest right out the gate, but then we're going to get into the chat, okay, and get going from here. So I want to welcome everybody. Welcome my friend up here. You ready to come on in? Ready? Okay. All right. Here we go. And for everybody, when you do end up coming up, you got to show your face. There's no exceptions to that. I mean, I've had a lot of weird stuff go on, so you got to show your face. All right. That's just it. All right. Here we go. Welcome to the stage, everybody. Y'all's work. How you doing, my friend?
Let me see. Hey, how you doing, Laird?
All right, man. It's good to see you. Good to see you.
I love this, man. I've been watching you for a while, man. I've been trying to follow your footsteps. Just purchased my own little piece of land.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Oh yeah.
So, are you in the south, in the north, the west?
I'm originally from Houston, Texas. I moved to California, Northern California. I've been out here now for 12 years. Was working for the longest, and then my wife and I, we just stopped and said, hey, we got to do something different. The world's getting crazy, man. It's time to, get our own stuff going and teaching our kids and homeschooling and everything. So, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why we all here today right now, is because I've gotten a lot of weird comments on a lot of the videos I keep doing about either, trying to buy some land or downsizing or us getting better. I keep getting weird comments, and I know where they're coming from. But that's why I wanted to do the tiny testimonies of people that are actually living this lifestyle, that actually are going out and buying that little piece of land and either building their own home or putting their own home on it, and like having it paid off and everything, and letting the people actually see folks like us that are actually doing it. And what a comment I read earlier today, is good to see people that's actually doing this and living this way, so they can see that this is not just a dream, it's not just a fantasy, but people, especially people that look like us, are really truly doing it. So I thought that was pretty cool.
It's amazing. I love to see it too, and that's what I'm seeing more of us doing it, and I love it. That's what gets me excited. It's time to wake up now. You know,
There you go.
I love you doing this teeny home thing too, because I'm watching you, my wife and I. We watch you say, "Oh, we need to do that next."
Yeah.
I like what y'all did in that. So and they look roomy. So
Yeah.
man, I can't wait. I can't wait to see the progress as we go with it too.
And you know
It's gonna
what?
be great.
That's why I wanted to start this chat first, is because I got a lot to talk about, because everybody has a notion about what we're planning to do and they have no idea. We saw those houses and they are off the chain. Okay, they off the chain. Ain't no two ways about it. All right, but we're going to get into the chat and we're going to talk about which direction that we're going, because we're going to talk about reality, because if you out there living it, y'all bought your land and everything, and all the people to get with the testimonies, we all know
Mhm.
there is a thin line between reality and ridiculousness. Okay, and we're watching a lot of people are watching a lot of stuff. That's where I get a lot of comments from HGTV and these YouTube quick builder tiny house things, and people is getting the wrong idea of how the realization of this whole thing work. And that's why I'm trying to put it into true perspective. So
Yeah.
I appreciate folks like you coming up, man, and giving your little piece. But do me a favor, stick
Okay.
around, because
Okay.
I want your full testimony. I don't want to be running my mouth, because I want everybody to see exactly what you're doing, or hear your point of view on it. Okay.
Okay.
So
Sure
at
will.
the end of this, I'm gonna ask everybody to come back up with their testimonies, and then I'm gonna let y'all just chop it up. All right.
All right.
Man, I
Sounds good.
appreciate you guys' work, man. Thank you, brother. I'm gonna get in this.
Anytime.
I'm gonna get into this. Y'all stay tuned and please hang out or come back so we can get what you're doing. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, man.
All right.
Thank you. For
Thank you.
everybody in the back room, you can either hang out or just come back when I'm done with this. I got a few bullet points that I want to get into, and I'm gonna knock them out real quick. I want to say hello to everybody in the room. Deborah Garrett, TL Sanders, Marcus B, Deborah Garrett, J3GS Farm, my brother Cheryl Faulkner, Dan H, TLC in the Garden, Zeus, we got them. Pieces of April. Hey, sister. Pieces of April and African Dreaming. I got it. I got the whole thing out there. Pieces of April and the channel African Dreaming. Everybody, She is Sunshine. Who else? We got Butterfly Effect and a few more folks in here that I'm sorry if I missed you. Listen, I'm amped up because I'm that excited, because I'm going to try something I've never done before. Y'all know I ain't slick on this StreamYard thing, but I'm going to try something that I was working on last night. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to give my bullet points, and then we're really going to get into this. All right. So if everybody just hang out, hey Sleeper, hey Vaughn. All right, Be Rich in the house. What's going on, brother? What's going on? It's good to see you in here. Thank you. All right, check this out. I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to say, look, I even wrote stuff down, y'all. I said, we've been doing this all wrong. We've been doing this. We've been living this way backwards. Dig this. We've been doing this backwards. We've been trained and taught. What's the American dream, right? Little house, white house, picket fence, up on a hill with a dog, blah, 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 right? We all know that. All right. Thank you, Brother Logic. Thank you. Say, hey, Leah, have you ever heard about garage home? Hold on. We're going to get right into that, my brother. But thank you for that, okay? Listen to this, y'all. Okay. The whole American dream thing, right? We all know about that. Little house, picket fence, dog, wife, yada, yada, yada. Everybody go get a job, work for the man, retire, sit in some old rocking chair until we're done for, right? We've been fed how we're supposed to live, but what we forgot was how we're actually supposed to live. Where once we get older, that sitting in the rocking chair thing on the back porch of a house that you still don't even own is not it. We all end up in nursing homes, sick and out of here, right? Because our children have gotten to a point they don't even want to take care of us. The first thing they do, send your butt off to a nursing home. I was a nurse, so I know the first thing I've ever done was work in a nursing home. Before I would start working in hospitals, I worked in nursing homes like most nurses do. That's where you start at. And that's where people dump our elders now. They don't try to keep that village mentality because we've been trained to work, get the house, the picket fence, the dog, the wife, and then they don't say nothing about what's supposed to happen to us in reality when we get older. Okay, that village mentality was supposed to part they left out was owning you some land and building that village, your village. See, I'm going to say this too, why we've been doing it all wrong. Everybody keeps saying, as a community, we are supposed to build a village amongst ourselves and, all of a group of like-minded people, so on and so forth. But I got to be honest with you. I don't think so. Not quite like that. That sun is getting me. This is what I'm thinking. This is my way of thinking, okay? When we say we got to get that house, get that land and build that village, build your own village is my way of thinking. Build your own village. Your own family members own your land, your closest friends, closest relatives, and your bloodline own your land. That is the village that I'm reading. That's the village that I see. Because everybody want to start these villages with unknown people just because let me stop talking so loud. Just because somebody chipped in $30,000 or $20,000 on this plot of land does not mean y'all gonna get along. Just because one of your pals or somebody you half-ass know chipped in 50,000, or even they chipped in 2/3 of the price of the land, does not mean y'all gonna get along. And I think that's where we're messing up, because when we talking about we ought to come together and build a village, all of us, so we can unite. In 2023, I'm not buying that. I'm going for your closest friends, your closest relatives, your bloodline, your grandchildren, your children. That's your village. And it's not supposed to be just one big giant village. We're supposed to have villages to exchange with one another. Families, just kind of like we're doing today, but we're doing it the way that they built, by going next door and borrow a cup of sugar kind of thing. But we should be trading with villages, our family units that we have on our own plots of land. But that's another story. I ain't gonna get too deep into that. So this is what we've been doing wrong. Besides that, in our heads, what we've been taught is buy the biggest house you can. Everybody raise your hand and testify. If you know you've been told this, or you've heard this, you've seen it, you are living it right now, because you've been told or taught, buy the biggest house you can to stunt, to show the rest of the world that you got it going on. Big old house, little piece of land. This is what we doing backwards. We putting a big old giant house on a baby piece of land, which what we call now is just yards. Look, I got this big old 3,000 square foot house, but I can throw a stone and hit my neighbor's dog upside the head. I can throw a rock and bust my other neighbor's window out. family, I don't think this is the way it's supposed to be. Big giant house on a little piece of land. When that man pass gas, give it 5 minutes, I can smell it. You dig what I'm saying? Even though this is a lot of space, it's just not supposed to be this way. It's just not. You know, if this dude is cooking and he in the house cooking some fried chicken, I don't believe I should be able to smell that. I think we should be far enough apart. I shouldn't be smelling what the Rock is cooking inside your house, or what if you're cooking rocks. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't be able to smell your dinner. I shouldn't be able to listen to your conversation. We shouldn't be this close to one another. I really don't think so. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, Brother Logic. Thank you. Said family and friends in one village, a real community that cares. Right. The people that is truly there, your everyday life, your friends, your family, your mama, your daddy, your uncle, your aunt, your children, they are the ones you call. When your best friends, them is the ones you call when you got a problem. Not any old Joe Schmo that you met on YouTube, never shook their hand, never broke bread, nothing. Just because, for instance, if you wanted to start a village with me, say you wanted to move me on your land, or I wanted to move you on my land, and say I got 200,000 on, you got a $300,000 lot that you want to buy. I give you my 200,000. How you think that's gonna work out? You don't barely know me from a hole in a sock, right? And I just put 200,000 down on a $300,000 piece of land. Now, I'm a good guy. I'm honest. But most of society ain't. Somebody gonna be like, look, no, you park your house over there. You had your house built over there. Because yeah, I put most of the money down on this. Y'all know we got people in our lives to do that. You can go buy a pizza and everybody put in on a pizza, and you know, oh man, that last slice is mine because I put the $10 on it. You only throwed in $3. Ain't no different, man. We need to start using things like that in reality, because that's how people act. That's how people truly act. If you say, man, look, hey, man, I went half on the 40 ounce. I get that last sweet. I know this ain't the 80s and the 90s, but y'all know what it is. I put the mustard on that 40, man. I get that last sweet. I get the foam at the bottom. Ain't no different when you dealing with land and true home ownership. The people that you around, you know, your family members, if they really love you and they really care for you, they thinking about it on that last slice of pizza, even though they put in the most money, they looking like, he lost his job, don't you? You know, this your aunt talking, you know he done lost his job. You know that baby over there home, go and wrap that last pizza up for him so he can take it home to that baby. He ain't got no money. They ain't got no food at the house. Y'all know how this go. That's a real village. That real village right there, right? So I'm going to keep on moving on, all right? All right. We need to start building smaller houses on bigger pieces of land. Our main focus should be the land, and then build a smaller house. That's going to lead into another subject. Build that smaller house because you can build onto a small house. You can build onto a small house as big as you need it to be. You really can't do a whole bunch of that with big giant houses. All you can do with a big giant house is keep remodeling the inside of it, because you really ain't got no land to expand, extend, or for instance, with that, when I was talking about elders, right? You really ain't even got no room. Say you want to build on what do you call it? A mother-in-law suite, because your mother-in-law or your mom or your dad has gotten up in age and you don't want to put them in no nursing home. You want to build a wing onto the house for them because they still have sustainability. They can still get around and do stuff. They just ain't as sharp as they used to be. Like my mom, just not as sharp and can do absolutely everything without burning the house down, Mom, without burning the house down. So sometimes they do need a little help. They do need a ride to the grocery store. They do need a ride to the doctor, and they shouldn't just be. We shouldn't be depending on nurses that don't even care, love. They don't even want to come to work today. You left your mama and your daddy in a nursing home with a bunch of young, silly nurses. I ain't saying all of them, but it's a lot of them. If you were in the medical field, you know I know. You know too. A lot of nurses, because these days, they'll let anybody be a nurse in all genres. Nurse technicians, LPNs, RNs, BSN, they'll let anybody be a nurse. They don't care if you passed or not. You could pass with, just because you became a nurse does not mean you graduated at the top of your dang on class. And that don't mean that you wasn't cheating off your best friend. You might get that one nurse, this nurse, when it's time to take a test. Right? They taking care of your mama and your dad and your aunt and them. Where we should be setting ourselves up for our own old age and for our children to be able to watch over us to a certain degree. I do not want to end up in no nursing home. Put me out in the garage, in the shed or something, man. Don't send me to no nursing home, man. I know what they do, you know? So I'm going to keep on going. Everybody was talking about the reasons for tiny homes. All right. This is the part I was talking about earlier where it get ridiculous. Everybody is buying tiny homes because of the wordage. The wordage done got away from us. People was downsizing, buying tiny homes to save money because they couldn't afford or did not want to try to afford a standard size house that the man has put on us. So everybody start getting smart and building their own small houses and realizing, which is another subject in here, you don't need all this stuff. We're going to talk about that too. But for the most part, we're starting to realize it's become a tiny home has become ridiculous. Y'all saw how many people saw them houses that me and Lady Leah was walking through? How many people saw the tiny homes that me and Lady Leah was walking through in that video before this one? Okay. They were beautiful. We went in a lot more than that, but I didn't, Jada hooked me up with my leg on birthday. We went in a lot more than that, but that's going to be at a later time where we release that. But listen to me. As beautiful as they were, I'm not paying $60,000 or $80,000 for nothing that when I turn around, my belly hit the counter and my butt hit the doorknob. I'm not paying 80 grand for that. Okay, this is reality. Y'all didn't see much of me, but y'all saw Lady Lead is tiny. But, you know, that dunk was hitting the cabinet and the chest was hitting the freezer. Okay, let's be realistic. I want to downsize, okay? I want a smaller space. But I don't want to be sleeping on the top of my doggone rooftop like Snoopy in Woodstock. That's where stuff gets stupid at. Because people, and I've seen a lot of those shows just like y'all have. I've seen a lot of those shows where people like, yes, and this is our kitchen. And oh, right over here is where we fix our meals. And then you just lean over like this, pull this pillow off the wall, and this is where we sleep. Bullshit. The reason I call bullshit on that is because those people that be in those little thimbles of a house, they'll say, and it only cost us $250,000, even though And a lot of them don't even own any land. They are living in a tiny house community where they pay rent. I've even watched some where this couple, well, we moved it in my mom's backyard, and we're planning to get married in 2 months, and we're going to start out in the tiny house. And first off, I'm looking at the young lady like, you living in this boy's backyard in a trailer, in a shed. Shame on you. But for the most part, we got to be realistic. I want to downsize my life. I do not want to HGTV this idea of a tiny house. Where we all doing? We watching too much TV, too much YouTube on tiny houses, and we're getting a false impression of how this works. We're supposed to be saving money. That's the whole premise of the tiny house. For instance, my perfect example, which is at the end of my list, we have made tiny houses trendy and popular, even though they used to call people like that bums, right? Oh, yeah, oh, that's old Uncle George out there living in the garage. Uncle George was supposed to be crazy, the bum of the family. He out there living in the garage next to the spare tires in the car jack. Now that's the thing to do. I've seen kids even decorate their tiny homes with tires and car jacks. We've made it as trendy and as popular as chicken wings and pizza. I'm going to wait a second. I'm going to let that marinate on your brain for a minute, like some marinara sauce. I'm going to let that marinate on you, okay? When I said we've made it popular and ridiculous as chicken wings and pizza, do y'all know, all the people my age know what chicken wings and pizza is? Chicken wings and pizza is PPF. If you don't know what PPF is, poor people food. It used to be, before there was a Buffalo Wild Wings and a Pizza Hut, pizza was invented by poor people throwing together scraps because they couldn't afford the top cuts of meat and food that the rich people was eating. Chicken wings is no more than what was thrown out to the poor people. Like, yeah, go on, eat that. We don't touch that. The backs and the wings and stuff, we don't want that. Y'all eat that. Now they have made it a multi-trillion-dollar business across the world. Look at pizza. Pizza is actually poor people's food. Do your history, do your research, and find out where a pizza really came from. That ain't no delicacy. That was poor people food from coming over from Italy. And when they got over to the Americas, they ain't have no food, or even in Italy, they ain't have no food. So they just threw together some old dried up old pepperonis, and all they had left was some old busted old molded cheese and some bread. And now it's pizza. So that's where tiny houses are now. Tiny houses used to be something you just throw together. Look how much Home Depot sheds used to cost, right? You could go pick a Home Depot shed up for $2,500 before. All day. That's unheard of now. That's unheard of because people is living in them boys. That's why. Now let me get in here. All right. I talked about the prices of the homes. Ridiculous. Okay. And I talked about how tiny you want it. All right. See, I'm on top of my game. This is why I'm trying to move fast on this, because I want to hear y'all testimonies, and I don't want to be on here all day. All right. We buy these big old giant houses with no land, and all we do is we just use this big giant house to fill it up with junk. Y'all know I ain't lying. When you fill your house up with a bunch of junk, you got a big old house. When you buy a big old house, the first thing you want to do is fill it up. We like freaking squirrels, right? Hibernating nuts for the winter. We'll go and buy a living room suite. You got 2 living rooms though. Like how many families you got? You bought a house with 2 living rooms. Some of us call it the den, or we got the sitting room, and then it's the main living room that's covered, the furniture covered in plastic. Can't nobody sit in there or walk through there. You got 2 living rooms. So when you got 2 living rooms, what you need? You need 2 sets of furniture. So you go to Rooms to Go and you buy the first living room set, the main living room that ain't nobody supposed to sit on and touch, right? So you buy the best furniture to go in there because you want that one top notch. Then you got the den or the sitting room where the kids play, and you know the kids can go in there. Then you don't go to Rooms to Go and stuff like that. You don't go to Haverty's and stuff. You kind of go to Big Lots Furniture. You go to Big Lots Furniture and be like, this will look good in the room for the kids. You mess around and go buy houses with 3 or 4 bedrooms. Now you got to buy 3 or 4 bedrooms full of bed furniture, and you only got 2 kids. But we need to fill it up. You want a 2-car garage. This house got a 2.5-car garage, and you only got 1 car. The rest of that garage is full of bullshit that we keep collecting like squirrels in a tree. We fill up the attic. We fill up the garage. We fill up all the closets with a bunch of clothes that we don't even use. Listen, family, I've been retired from the post office for 2 years now. I have each and every last postal uniform that I've ever owned in the 8 years I worked at the post office. Shoes, boots that smell like corn chips and death, and the shirts, the ties, the winter clothes. I got it all in my closet for some reason. Because I keep saying, I got to throw that out. I don't throw it out. You know what I do? Same thing the rest of us do. You go buy some Rubbermaid buckets, Tupperware buckets, and throw all your old clothes in and go put that junk in the attic. Tell me I'm lying when I ain't. Stop me if I'm lying. Stop me if you feel convicted. Go ahead and say amen, because I know you ain't no different than I am. We just human. You know the song. So all we do is buy these big old houses, pack them full of bull crap, and then we try to get somebody to move. If we feel like moving, don't nobody want to come to no 4-bedroom house with 2 living rooms, a sitting room, a kitchen, an eating kitchen, a dining room, and a nook. How many places you need to go eat at? Let's be for realistic now with it. Thank you, Carla. Thank you. We got an eat-in kitchen with a table in it. We have a kitchen nook off the eat-in kitchen. Now I'm talking about my own house now. And a dining room, a formal dining room. How many places you need to eat a plate of spaghetti? And look, this is what we even do. Y'all don't eat in that dining room because it's nice. You got your fine china and your fine dishes and all that crap in your formal dining room. Nobody can eat in the dining room, but it's for dinner though. Nobody can really eat in the kitchen because I don't want nobody here while I'm trying to walk around doing the dishes and stuff like that. So nobody can eat in the eat-in kitchen. Nobody can eat in the formal dining room with your good furniture in it. Only place people can eat is in the kitchen nook. 3 places to eat, but you only allowed to eat in one of them. I could do this all day. My point is, we're buying these gigantic houses with an 8-car driveway, a 2.5-car garage. And the bigger your driveway is, the more cars you want to put in it. Now, I'm talking about myself, okay? I ain't talking about you. I don't think. The more bigger driveway you got, the more cars you be like, oh, I can put the RV right here. Hell, I can get a whole RV and a camper right there. And you can still park here. I can park here. I can put the motorcycles over there. The bigger space, the more we need to fill it up. So I'm not, y'all know I ain't lying to you. I'm gonna keep on going. Somebody even said in the comments, they said, for me and Lady Leia, like y'all getting up in age, why would you? I don't even see why you would want to do something like that and get a house that small. Now, again, talking realistically, I don't know too many elders or people getting up in age that's going out buying 2 or 3 story houses anymore, because them steps start whooping on your knees a little bit, as African dreaming say. African dreaming always talk about somebody whooping on somebody's legs. Pieces of April telling me you always talk about whooping on folks' legs. Them stairs start getting a little rough. So what our elders usually do, right? Downsize. They move everything to downstairs, and they be like, well, the grandbabies can go upstairs and sleep up there and do it. I don't even go up there no more. I don't even know what it looked like no more. I ain't been up there for about a year. So that's for the grandkids to come. Our elders start moving downstairs, moved all their stuff downstairs while their knees still got oil in them, right? Because that fluid be low. After a while, you don't want to keep going up them steps. And your hips are still from God. Because we'll get a RoboCop hip in a minute. So what do our elders usually do? They downsize. They downsize so much, then they start looking into buying a smaller home, selling this big house, either buying a smaller home, or even so much as moving into an apartment, all the way down to moving into a retirement home or assisted living. And it don't be nothing wrong with them, or a townhome or a condo, something with no steps. They don't want to be taking care of no grass. They don't want to be doing none of that, right? That's why I didn't reply to the person, but that's what, when they said we shouldn't be thinking about that in our old age, everybody in their older age thinks about every time they walk up them steps and they think it's the step creaking, like, I'm gonna have to have somebody come look at that. That wasn't a step. That creaking noise was not the step. It was your hip, your spinal cord, and your knees. Every time you, they make the steps. That's your body creaking. And after a while, we start to realize that and understand, man, it's time to take this down a notch. So that's, to me, that comment was totally, bogus. I think as we get older, we do need to downsize. What you need all this whole house for? What we need it for? Okay, so I'm gonna leave that there, and I'm gonna end this on this before I get done. A smaller house is easier to clean. Raise your hand if you agree. A smaller house is easier to clean. It ain't got to be no tiny home. We talking about just downsizing. A smaller house is easier to maintain. That means you ain't got to go looking for stuff. What I do with my glasses? Where's my keys at? It's easier to find everything and keep up with everything and maintain everything, because everything got its own special little spot. Smaller houses are easier to maintain. With a smaller house, we talking about like a 1-story, let's say ranch style house, maybe 1 or 2 bedroom ranch style home. You're not as quick to call the roofer to go look at your roof, are you? Because man, I got a ladder out back. I can get up on that roof and go find out where that leak is. I can do that myself. Meaning, with a smaller house, and it's not as intricate. We can even say like older cars before cars start getting all computerized and stuff. It was easy to fix our cars before. Hey, look, every car in America before 1980, we knew what was wrong with it. Like, look, hit the key, hit the key, hit the key. You hitting it? You hitting it? Ain't nothing happening? Hold on. Hit it again. Hit it again. You hitting it? All right. Hit it now. Gotcha. You got a loose wire over here coming off the cable, battery cable. We knew what was wrong. We didn't have to go hooking up no diagnostic computers and crap, trying to figure out the code to see, oh, it's my manipulator is malfunctioning. It's getting too much oxygen in the O2 sensor from the quantum physics calculator. That's what we hear when we go to the auto mechanic now. Back in the day, yeah, give it some gas. Give it some gas. All right, hit it. Pump it. Pump that thing like that. Hit that gas like that. Yeah. Brum. There you go. All right. See? It was just flooded. It was just a little flooded. Or you wasn't giving enough gas. We knew how to fix it because everything was simpler. So with a smaller house, it's no different. It ain't all this computerized bull crap and wires going through the walls, and you don't know where this switch go. You've been hitting this switch for 6 years. You don't know. You turn it on and off somebody's damn porch light 3 houses down. You don't even know it. You've been like, man, I ain't never figured out what the hell this switch go to. I've been trying to see. When you first buy a house, one of these big old houses, come on, y'all, give it to me. You first buy one of these big old houses. What do? You go and find out what every switch and button and knob and thing do in the house. You got your kids, your wife, and your friends to come to see, your family members. You in there, here's what. Hey, y'all tell me if y'all see a light up there. Y'all see the light? What do I now? What do I now? What do I now? No? None? Huh? Y'all go out on the front porch, see it, but don't we? Go out on the front porch. You go on the front porch. Billy, you go on the back porch. What y'all tell me y'all see something? Huh? Nothing? We'll do that for 7 years. Switch right there in the wall, and the switch will have wires going to. You done took the plate off. Like, damn, it go to something. There's some wires going to this sucker. I don't know what it is. You cutting on a light switch out in a doghouse that was built 20 years ago. You don't even know. But now with a smaller, when you downsize without all this intricate crap, you don't need nobody to figure out what this switch go to because you only got about 3 or 4 of them in the whole house. You don't got a panel like you on the Starship Enterprise trying to figure out what all this stuff is to. It's a damn Qualcomm monitor. Y'all can come down for dinner now. It's a doggone volume button for some reason. It's an alarm system from the 60s. It's all kind of stuff on this damn control panel. With a smaller house, you know your stuff. Now listen, I've had boats for years. And one thing I know, I've had big boats, and I stopped having big boats for a reason. Because with a big boat, you can't always be out there on that water by yourself. You need help to figure out what the hell is going on. Hey, go down to the end and let me see. What is the water coming from down there? You can't move from back here. You need to be up here steering or something. With a smaller boat, I know where that leak is coming from. I can see where the water coming from and where it's going. I can see about how long I got left to be buoyant, floating, and whether I should get to the dock or not. House is the same thing. You will have a leak in a big old house with 2 floors and an attic. You will have a leak in your roof for 2 years, won't even know it. You won't even know it. You won't know that leak, your roof been leaking for 2 years or 3 years until it's in your kitchen, dripping on your birthday cake. That means your whole roof done rotted out. Something that could have took you, if you had a smaller house where you could always see this stuff, something that could have took you, go up there and patch that one little hole real quick, put some silicone up there and a patch and another shingle. That could have saved you 3 years ago thousands of dollars. Now you got to replace the whole roof. You got to place the drywall on, have the ceiling done, and probably a remodel job. Having a smaller house just makes sense. And I think we've all gotten away from that by that whole, you need a big house with a big lawn, which is still ridiculous to me, instead of a garden. Big house, big lawn, picket fence, and nobody there to maintain it. So, with that being said, y'all, I'm going to show y'all something real quick, and I'm going to make this super quick, and then we're going to start our testimonies. This was the sweet part that I've been trying to work on, and I want to show you this. When it comes to tiny homes, this, I'm going to have to use this screen because I'm going to need to figure out what I'm doing here. This is what me and Lady Led, me and Princess Led have been working on. You can do this same thing in your own town, city, wherever you plan on getting your land and stuff. You can do the same thing. So without further ado, let me show y'all this. This is a shed home. Oh, that's perfect. I can see everything. This is a shed home right here. And this, we're going to go right to it. Hold on. How did I do this before? Wait a minute. I thought I could pull this off. Hold on. Hold up. Oh, okay. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Can y'all can still see me? Okay. Okay, we good. We good. I'm on pause. I didn't know. Oh, no, I'm good. Okay, so this is a shed home. This is how you can just build this for yourself. Now, I'm going to tell y'all right now, this is starting just, it's a normal barn house. We're going to start at the style, which is a sided lofted barn. So all you got to do to make this your own, we're going to come down and pick the style we want. Style, we're going to pick, just for giggles, okay? Just for giggles, the corner porch cabin. You can build these yourself. Go online. You can build these wherever y'all got y'all builders at, or who you want to build your tiny home. You can have this done. You can also go with the deluxe lofted cabin, or this one, the one I like, but it takes up too much space, which is the corner cabin. But we're going to go back to the corner porch cabin. Gives you a lot more space, and you can build onto this porch if you wanted to, okay? So from here, all you do is, we want metal roof, and I don't want shingles. What size do we want it? Now, I've been in every size of these all over the doggone United States damn near, and I have gotten to the point I cannot do anything under 12 foot wide. So this is what me and Lady Led have picked. 12 foot, 12 by 40. This is the one that we have picked. Now the 12 by 40, y'all can see, is a good size. If you go outside in your yard and measure how much 14 by 40 is, this is bigger than some people's home, and I believe it adds up to about 560 square feet, something like that. I could be off, but you get what I'm saying. That's more than enough living space. Now, we're also going to talk about living space versus storage space. I feel, now I'm from the north. There were not too many attached garages in Ohio. Everybody's garages were separated across the yard, at the back of the backyard. They were never really attached to your house. That was rare. That was rich folk neighborhood. So I think your living quarters should still be separated from your storage quarters, because it's such a thin line between the garage and attached garage in your house right off the back door of the kitchen, to the point that garage stuff start coming inside the house. Nevertheless, your living quarters should be just your living quarters. So before people start saying there's no storage in there, it ain't really necessarily supposed to be stored for all your junk. You can buy another shed, have a garage built, or a shipping container for your storage. Now, this is how easy it is. I'm going to keep on moving, y'all. To add a window, we're going to go to windows, doors, exterior options. And we're going to come over here. I'm going to pick this wall right here. And then I'm going to hit, I want 2 windows there. So I'm going to hit it twice over here. 1, 2. Now, you can move these windows wherever you want them. I always pick them about 5 feet away from the closest wall. So I'm going to stop there on that one. I'm going to stop 5 feet on this side here. It ain't got to be perfect. It ain't got to be perfect. I'm just trying to make a point. Now that seems like that's pretty wide, Led. So all I'm gonna do here is edit, and I'm gonna get a double pane window. Now y'all keep track of the price of this. I'm gonna show y'all the price. We're gonna get another double window up here. Edit that one. Turn it to a double. Watch how different that looks. It went from looking like a shed to really looking like a real home. Now at this point, we are at 16.5 with the front door, 4 windows, well, basically 6 windows, metal roof. Now, I'm going to show y'all my exact one that I've designed for us, which is here. I'm going to put a window here, which is probably going to be like a bedroom there, a single window. I'm going to put 2 more windows here, just for giggles, okay? Just for giggles. So I'm gonna just scoot them over like so. And I'm just giving you the maximum of, I'm not even gonna measure them. I'm just giving y'all the maximum of what I plan on doing or what I have done. I'm gonna double those windows for light. I like a lot of light in my house. And I'm gonna throw 1 more window here just for giggles. Single window. Now we're gonna turn that around. And this is what we're looking like so far. Okay. Now we can still go to colors. Where we at on price right now? We at $17,170. Now the colors they don't charge you to paint it. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick a color just right off the top of my head, a nice light gray. Y'all can paint it any color you want. You can pick any color you want to have your house. Some people want that dark barn look, red cedar look. Okay, I'm going to keep it a fairly neutral gray. Now, we're going to go up to the roof, and I want to keep a black metal roof. Change the color. And now, I don't want this yellow trim. I'm going to go down here. Where's the trim colors? Roof colors. Here's the trim. I'm going to make my trim white. So it was that easy to build a whole house, color it, paint it, and we still at $17,170. Now on the interior, you got your plugs and everything. This is what it's looking like on the inside. Okay, here's your porch here. And here's your door. So you come in here, you can either close that off and have that be a little small bedroom, or have your bedroom back here, and this be your living space, your heat and your cooling, and this could be your kitchen area. I'm just playing with ideas here, okay? Now, what we're going to add now is I want that premium electrical package. That comes with all the plugs and sockets and light switches, but also comes with a breaker box. Here's that breaker box right here. You want that, okay? Because you don't know if you're going to be running solar. You don't know if you're going to be running power to the ground or to the grid, whatever. But this is just something that extra that you just don't have to do. You can do all of this yourself. But again, remember one other thing. Time is your money too. So if you're going to pay another $100 or so to have all this stuff done, the windows and the breaker boxes and electrical, that's your time that's going to cost you more than cash. So now the flooring, I'm gonna keep the flooring solid at the premium 3/4 inch plywood, because I do plan on either putting down some laminate or some ceramic tile. Boom, you are done. And we are at 17,620 at the price right here. This is completely done. So this is what I have built in just a few minutes with y'all. This is a 14 by 14 wide by 40-foot long cabin with a porch on it. And don't, please trust me, that porch does work. Yes, it does take up a little space, but this porch is something you could, with me living out on my land now, I hate being on the ground because something is always coming up my leg. So being up this just a little bit of height off the ground, trust me, that's all you need. I don't need no big giant porch. So I wanted to do this with y'all to show y'all how easy this is to go to one of these shed companies and build your own to your own specs, make it the way you want it. They will build it and then they will ship it to you. Okay. So all you have to do on the inside, well, let's go back to the inside so I can show y'all what me and Lady Led plan on doing is we're just gonna we're gonna close this bedroom part off, and that'll be like a bedroom, but the rest leave it open. I'm not trying to, we've agreed we're not trying to tiny home this house. We're trying to make this our home temporarily until we can save enough money to have our dream home built, to add on to our savings. Right now, with our money flow that we have, if we could save all that money every single month for a couple of years, oh my God, I can build whatever I want. So that is the whole idea. You can have, with a space this small, you can put a mini split on there. A mini split will cost you about $1,000, $800 to put air heating and air in there. You can have your solar running everything. And this is what we came up with. This is what we built, Princess Led, and it's on its way to Freedom Acres as we speak. So this family, this is what we're going to have for us as soon as I sell this RV. So we got one on the way and one coming. So we can be out there permanently and start getting this house cleared out and upgraded so we can sell it. So I'm gonna get off of this. I hope this helped y'all a little bit, because this was the whole intention of this whole video, was to show you guys that you can make this yourself, and it gives you an idea of the price range, what you're dealing with. So if you purchased a piece of land and you got a piece of land somewhere sitting, you could actually throw another less than 20 grand on here and have you a dwelling. Mind you, if your code allows it, your law allows it, or your township, whatever. Okay. So with that being said, family, I hope that helped a little bit. I just wanted to throw that at y'all. I did that kind of slick too. It worked. Lead farmer learning how to do StreamYard. So it worked. That's what I wanted to show y'all, how simple it is. Everybody got the wrong things in their head about buying these houses, buy the land. Now you got to put a 4-bedroom mansion on it. Again, remember, we're always trying to fill up space. It's our nature. It's in our nature. Even in our gut, we always trying to fill our bellies, right? You got space left in there. Give me one more piece of cake. It's in our mentality, and we got to break this cycle, because it's killing us physically, spiritually, mentally, and financially. Always trying to fill up every freaking gap in our lives is killing us. Okay. So with that being said, I say I am starting to downsize on everything. That goes for life, love, relationship, finance, everything. Everything does not have to be so extravagant. All we do, I'm going to say this too. when we try to fill those houses with all of that stuff, you know what you also do? Full houses full of junk equals debt. Think about it. Big houses full of stuff, I ain't gonna call nobody stuff junk. Full houses full of stuff equals debt. If you got a big house, and I know everybody in this room tonight, I know you got at least 2 rooms. I picked 2 rooms in your house. Ain't never seen you nor your house or your living space. I know you have 2 rooms that you know you need to go in there and just basically set them mugs on fire because it's full of crap. It's full of stuff that you ain't seen in over a year. It's full of clothes you ain't seen in over 2 years. It's full of tools that don't even belong to you, things that you borrowed, things that you bought that you didn't even need. You just saw it. It was a good price. You bought it. You got closets full of shoes with the tag still on them. You got closets full of clothes with the tag still on. They even still got the doggone hanger that came from the store on. You can't tell me you don't. Don't lie about it because I'm one of them. I'm giving you my testimony. I'm sharing my own testimony with you because I can't be the only one. Am I the only one with a house full of stuff that need to go? All of this stuff could be making me some money to buy my future. It's time to go. When I put my Harley on that thumbnail on the community post, I meant it. That's my favorite bike, but I haven't rode my bike. I rode my bike one time this year. Once. I paid, $200 for the tags and stuff to renew my tags and everything. I've been paying insurance every single month just to sit in the garage and collect dust. Every blue moon, I wipe on it and I put it back in the garage. What kind of sense does that make? This is what we do. You got a Corvette in the garage with a cover over it, a blanket over it. You ain't sat in the driver's seat of that Corvette in about 4 to 5 years. But that's your baby, though. That baby gonna end up being in part of the bankruptcy or the foreclosure if we don't start using our freaking brains and downsizing some of this crap we don't need. Don't y'all see when they thank you for that, Aura Allen. Thank you. Say the world told us we need all this stuff. I've been downsized, real talk. Thank you for that. This is ridiculous. We're told to keep buying junk. Keep filling your house with stuff. That's what we're being told. So with that being said, everybody, I think, I left out smaller house, less to furnish. You spend less money to furnish it. Smaller house, less monies in repairs, repair bills. Less money to make it run. You don't have to have no big, gigantic air conditioning unit sitting out back. You can have a mini split on the side of the house that heats and cools the whole thing. Or a wood-burning stove. That's another episode I got waiting for y'all. I'm going to put all my wood-burning stove videos together. And me and Lady Leah just bought a new one for our new tiny home yesterday. So I'm going to show y'all that. You could heat your home with the wood that you got laying around your yard. You could cool your house with a window unit instead of having some big central air unit. All that money that gets wasted, man. We live to waste money and make people rich. That's what we're living to do right now. And I'm going to do everything in my power to change that whole narrative that they got us stuck in. With that being said, y'all, thank you for listening to me ramble on. What's up, Sunday Backyard Farmer? What's going on? Vision Preparedness in the house. What's going on, brother? Michael Hernandez. What's up, man? CC's Garden. My tea. So what we're going to do now, y'all, I'm going to let a few people come up and give your testimony. I done enough running off at the mouth. And I want to hear from y'all now. So I'm going to put the link back in the chat again. So if you're thinking about downsizing, or if you have downsized, when I say tiny talk, I'm not saying just buying a tiny house. I mean downsizing our lifestyle. If you have done that, come on up, let everybody know what you did or what you're in the process of doing. So the link is in the chat. Got it right there. I'm gonna put another one in there just in case. And we're gonna bring you ready, Brandon. I'm gonna bring Mr. Brandon Lee to the screen so we can see what we got going on. Sorry to have y'all holding and waiting and everything, but I really wanted to get that message out and show you guys a few things. All right. I think it's a lot of people in this chat that didn't know it was that easy to build a tiny home, the starting level of it. A lot of people don't know, and a lot of people thought buying one of those sheds that big would probably cost them $40,000, $50,000. That was $17,000, and all you got to do is run your insulation, drywall, and however else you want to configure that, it's totally up to you. You get to pick. Okay, so I'm gonna let Brandon Lee come on up. You ready, bro? What's going
Hello,
on,
good
yo?
sir.
How you doing?
I enjoyed it so much, and not to mention too, there is government rebates as well. I'm
Yes.
in media, so I try to keep up with everything. There's this
Oh,
one company called Boxel, Boxal. I only know it because Elon Musk stayed in a Boxel. So it's
okay.
kind of like what you were talking about, but I will say this: I live in an apartment, so I don't have a home or anything like that. But I
Oh
will
well.
say one thing that I've been doing is downsizing my mindset in terms of the responsibilities that I can clock out of. So for those of
Right.
you who don't know, there's a meme of Lisa from The Simpsons where they say, "Can you clock out for me now?" And when we think about clocking out of things, we think like, "Man, I just had this long day, and I gotta go home now. I gotta do this, and I gotta do that." Think about this: you clocked out. That's the blessing of it. You clocked out. You don't have to do anything. And listen, I've been trying to do that more because I think growing up, my mom and dad have always taught me do what you say you're going to do, be
Right.
respectful, and give what you can. But
Right.
also too, my parents also recognize that it is okay not to take on everybody's emotions.
There you
It's
go.
okay to not take on everybody's spaces. And it's certainly okay to just say, I don't have it. Like, I'm a new YouTuber. So, I do pop culture, social commentary, everything else.
Right.
And I've come to recognize that, with this journey of social media, people want to be seen by everybody in
Right.
quantity that they're not even concerned about the quality. I'd rather
There
be
you
small at 1,000 people than be seen by everybody and nobody is feeling my soul. So I
go.
just
Right.
want to come up here and just give a little inspiration and just show
Thank
you some love. So
you. Hey, appreciate you, man. Thank you for that. Thank you
no,
for
no
that.
problem.
All right. Come on up anytime. All right.
Yes,
Appreciate you coming
sir.
up. Everybody go check his channel out. Everybody that comes up, I would appreciate if everybody go check out their channels if they have one. Clearly, they must have one. So if they do, go check out the people that step up to the forefront. Go check out their channels, all right, and see what they got going on. Thank you, Mr. Lee. I
No
appreciate you, man.
problem. Much love to you.
All right, thank you. Now, I'm gonna say this, you guys, on that note. He did touch on a point that I've touched on before. Don't live somebody else's dream. Don't be living other people. We're all literally living other people's dreams and fantasies. I've heard somebody say that they did everything that I told them to do. I said, I didn't I didn't tell you to do that. And when somebody asked me, Led, how much space, listen to the question, Led, how much space do you think I would need for my two children, me, and my wife? I don't know. I don't know. If I told you what you need, you are living my dream. You're living my life. You're living what I need. That ain't right. We need to stop doing it. That's why we all still buying the big house with the big car, and well, stop at the wife right there, okay? But you dig what I'm saying? We're living other people's dreams and fantasies to the point we're going broke trying to emulate or imitate somebody else. Start thinking about what you want. Start thinking about what's your dream, not Laird Farmer 73's dream. What do you want? How much space do you need for your wife, your children? Think about that. Because I know how much I need for my kids. I'll lock them off up in a closet somewhere, like in the attic. One of your kids may be rambunctious, and they need, one of them little kids that don't stop running around in circles around the house. I don't know how much space you need. You might got one little kid like sit in corners and read all day. So if I told you need a 14 by 40, you may not need that. You may need that 12 by 24 because your kids like to sit down and read and listen to storybooks and stuff. They don't need to be all running through the house. Okay. So I'm just saying, that's my perspective. Stop living everybody else's dream and do what's right for you. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to go on over here and get back to y'all's work. Coming on in, brother.
Hey.
All right.
What's going on? I want to tell you too. You hit on all points with the. I had wrote it down too. Been doing it all wrong. Yeah. There is no such thing as the American dream. Boy, it took me a long time to realize that. Look here. Boy, people just think it's only one Hollywood in California. The whole world is Hollywood. Boy, Amen. America is Hollywood.
Amen.
Look here, man. My parents did it. My wife's parents did it. We've all been taught to work, get these big houses, get the nice cars, keep up with fashion. But then I started looking, I'm like, why is everybody telling us that? It's not really a law that said you got to work for them. You don't have to go get that big old house. You don't have to go get all this stuff right here. You can just be content. So we started thinking about all our skills that we were getting working for these people and say, you know what? Let's start our own stuff. So when we make our own money, let's put the money into our own little business. We went to farming and chickens and living, getting our own website up, selling our eggs and chickens and ducks and stuff. And then it started doing good. Slowly started getting away and saving up money. And so now we got 5 acres, 27,000. Our family but they did. They didn't believe in it. Because it goes against everything they taught us. Because we didn't go the 9-to-5 way. We didn't go to everything the way that they went. And we went our own way and try to make our own money, to give our family something. And now, they still don't believe it. We got 5 acres now for 27,000. They still calling us foolish because it doesn't have the land, the property on it. It doesn't have the big house on it already. Oh, you're crazy. Right. You're going to cost so much money. And then I see you today with this video. And then I even wrote down the Genesis portable business. I need that. And it's crazy because yesterday I was sitting at Home Depot and I saw a shed right there. I said, man, look at that. I said, that's actually in car. I said, man, we can turn that into a little home. And sure enough, here you go with this video today. Doing the exact same thing. I said, look at here, man. I said, man, if he ain't showing us no signs, and this is it. It's doable. And man, I'm like, oh man, now I gotta show you a video to everybody. Now I want to send this video right to our parents and say, look, God dog, this is for real. We doing it. And we gonna show you too. I need that, and that was so much motivation, man. The whole family was here watching you, listening to you, and everything, man. I needed that. That was good. That's that extra push I needed.
Thank you.
Yes, man.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you here.
Yeah.
But keep doing what you're doing and keep being an example. And you know what? Don't rub it in nobody's face, but just show them like we over here, we good over here.
Yeah.
That's all to it. All right.
Yeah.
Man, thank you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you, boss.
I appreciate you. Everybody, go check out Y'all's Work channel. Everybody that steps up, we're going to go try to check out their channel and see what they over there working with and watch their journey as well. All right. Thank you, my brother.
All right.
Thank you. All right, now. Now, everybody, on that note, I'm gonna do another little cap on that note. the shed that I showed you guys, you may not have that same brand. That's for the East Coast, the Eastern Seaboard, and you may not have that same company. It's a billion companies you can choose from. But I am here to give one more testimony before I go on to our next guest, Miss CC, and it's short, which is be careful what shed you get. Be careful what shed you get. There are two kinds of sheds, or two kinds of, we got to stop saying shed because that changes legal things. There are two kinds of cabins that you want to make sure either you do or you do not get. As you see out this window, I had a shed built from Home Depot almost a year or two ago. There's a difference between the sheds on these lots that they just pick up and bring to your house, like the one I just showed you. They build that, put it on the back of a truck, bring it to your land. This one has a metal bottom. That's the main reason I got it, because I wanted that metal bottom. Here's the problem with the metal bottom that they build on your site. If you buy one of the ones from Home Depot, Lowe's, or one of those big box stores like that, they usually have the metal bottom. If they have that metal bottom and build it on site, that is not removable. I need to let you guys know that shed is not removable. I'm going to have to sell that shed with this house. I'm not going to take it back apart. I've called everybody from the East Coast to the West Coast to come and take this shed, and can they transport it to my land 2 hours away? Nobody touches these. Everybody will say this. Oh, yeah, we can do it. Oh, it ain't going to cost you nothing. Somebody told me it'll cost me $1,500. I was like, come and get it. He drove all the way here to transport this shed to my land and found out. He was like, oh, this is the one, you got this from Home Depot. Oh, we can't take this. No, this is the one, this is permanent. The ones with the metal bottoms, y'all, are permanent. The only way you're going to end up shipping them somewhere is you literally have to take them all apart, just like they built them, and take it somewhere else like a doggone puzzle and put it back together. Now, when you buy one from one of those companies that build it on site and bring it to your house, those, you seen them little fork trucks, and they put them on the flatbed, and then they got that one truck that'll pick them up and put them wherever you want them on your land. So reason I'm touching on this. The reason I'm touching on that is because, number one, I got burnt. So this house is stuck. I mean, this shed out here is stuck there. But the other reason is, if your cabin is there and you just going to be living in it temporarily, and you know someday you really want a real solid house built, if you have that thing built, one of these, you can't move that. So the reason I'm choosing one of these other companies that bring it on the flatbed is because once we have our permanent structure built, right now we're temporarily going to be living in this cabin. But when we have our permanent structure built, that cabin can be picked up and moved anywhere on my land. I can turn it into a guest house, a pool house, a pond house, an office, a villa. I can move it anywhere on my acreage, and it don't got to be sitting right where we plan on putting it. But if I would have had one of these built on site, you can't move that. Wherever it is where it is. So I had to touch on that. So be careful and do your homework. If you have one built on site, you will not be able to move that. So that will be a permanent structure. Okay. So I had to let you guys know that. So coming on into the room real quick. Are you ready, Miss CC? All right. Everybody, welcome CC Texas Garden to the live stream. How you doing?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep, I gave you perfect.
Okay, good. I'm glad you touched on that, because I'm in the process of trying to figure out tiny house or getting it built. And so I'm glad you said that. That was good. I just want to come up here because you was talking about downsizing.
Yes.
And 2 years ago, I had to do that because my youngest daughter, she moved out. She moved to her dad's. So I had this townhouse that I was renting, 2-bedroom, had up and down stairs, had 2 baths. And I moved back home to my mom after 25 years. She
Wow.
lives in a trailer. So I'm in a little small, tiny room. And I was like, where am I going with all this stuff? And it really made me look at everything and say, why do I have this? Why is it just sitting there? And a lot of times, you see decorating shows or whatever, and you just have stuff that's just displayed there. But I'm like, if it don't have a purpose, then why is it sitting there?
Exactly.
Yeah.
My point exactly. I mean, we can even touch on that by saying this is one of the most ridiculous things that a lot of us still do or have done in our past, whatever, is people still celebrate holidays. Okay, it's certain people that celebrate certain holidays still. And the thing is, you will have decorations for this holiday in the garage. You will have decorations for every holiday in the garage. And everybody raise your hand if everybody, after the birthday party is over, you don't throw that happy birthday banner away because it costs you about $49, right? You fold that back up. Give me your hat. Give me your hat. Give me your hat. Put them candles in this bag. Put them candles. Go store all that stuff back up the next birthday that's in about 3 more weeks away, right?
Yes.
No, I ain't the only one.
Oh no. I learned that, because I was like, I am totally into Christmas and, Thanksgiving, fall stuff, decorating. But then when I moved back to my mom's, I have to respect her space. Right. So I was like, what am I to do with all of the stuff? So that's when I started getting on different selling places where I can start selling that stuff off.
Right.
So yeah.
That is excellent. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Is we have so much stuff. I'm looking right here, and everybody see me do these videos all the time. I'm looking at 3 meat grinders right now in my face, in back of this screen. 3 meat grinders that I did 3 videos on. Y'all seen them. 3 meat grinders. I don't even be grinding meat like that. I promise. I frankly really don't need one. But I got 3 sitting here taking up space.
Yes. Yeah. Product reviews will take up space. I have so many of those electric kettles. I'm like, how many electric kettles do I need?
Don't even get me started, because I can look over to this side and it's about 4 air fryers right here. Like, that's enough.
Yes.
Okay. But exactly. That's my point. Exactly.
Yeah.
But, so you're staying with your mom still right now? What are your future plans?
Well, my plans is, I was planning when I retire and get older to move back here. I wasn't planning on this. So it was just like, so I moved here, and but it has been a blessing. I started doing in-ground gardening, because I always did patios, being at apartments and townhouses. So I started in-ground gardening, but I plan on building a tiny house on the property or getting one, put here on the property.
Right.
So
okay,
that is my plan. So when I watched your video of looking at tiny houses, I was just like all up on the screen, like, oh, okay. Because, my mom was like, how are you going to just live in that little box? And I'm thinking, I'm living in a little box right now.
And you know what, Cece, I'm going to tell you this. Let's be honest with ourselves, all of us. We really live in that little box every day. Right. I can name off just right here in my face. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rooms just around in this central area that I'm looking at right now. Every time I do a video, I'm sitting right here. We spend our lives sitting in this kitchen. Yeah. Every blue moon, we want to go watch a movie together, a movie night. And we may go up to the den. But for the most part, it's my bedroom, the kitchen, and sometimes the den, So our reality is blurred.
Right.
The rest of the house is usually filled with places we don't want to sit, places that's really not comfortable. You bought the furniture, ladies, because it's cute. You did not buy that for how it make your cheeks feel. People buy furniture because it's cute or it matches the decor.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So yeah, I know. I know.
So I just wanted to come up here and tell you, we're downsizing. And it's challenging, but you can't take that stuff with you. You cannot take it with you.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
All right. I appreciate it.
Everybody go check out CC's Texas Garden. She does have a channel and it's awesome. So please go check her out, everybody. Please click on her and go check her out. All right. Thank you, CC. Now, I'm going to touch on that point again. For every guest that comes on, I'm going to touch on a point that they make because I want to emphasize it. You can't take it with you, CC said. You can't take it with you. All of us, unfortunately, have had somebody pass away in our families, our friends, families, schoolmates, whatever. And we have all been part of the recovery team, is what I'm going to call it with lack of better words. The recovery team is that team that after your loved one or your friend passes on, I hate that. I hate even talking about it, but you are sometimes recruited to help clean out their living space. And while you're in their home where they spent their lives on earth, you see all of their memories, all of the things that were important to them. But you know what else you see while you cleaning out their apartments, you cleaning out their homes, and you're getting it ready for the estate sale, you cleaning out their closets. You know what else you see? All of this unnecessary stuff. It's literally in everybody's home after they pass away, literally tons, and I'm saying this properly, weighing metric tons of stuff that once they passed on, the only thing they needed was that nice suit that you buried them in. They didn't need anything. The only thing you leave this earth with when you die is the only thing we don't buy is a coffin, a casket, a nice suit and a casket. We got all this crap in the garage and all this stuff up in the attic. We buy an extra shed in the back to put more stuff in it, full of everything but the stuff that we gonna leave this earth with, which is a nice suit and a casket. I told you I got every postal uniform and a lot of the uniform from all of my prior jobs up in my closet. But you know what ain't up in there? A good suit for my final day here on earth. So we get that chance to see people's final stuff. You can't take it with you. And you know what? Usually, let's be honest, usually don't nobody else want it either. People only want things that's worth money because of their greed. They don't want those birthday cards that they've been storing and saving your whole life. They got your every birthday card you gave them, or that macaroni necklace that you made them in 3rd grade. That stuff meant the most to them. But that's the stuff that's the first thing in the trash. You gonna grab that macaroni necklace, or you gonna grab that doggone, I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna do it right now for y'all. Or you gonna grab that macaroni necklace, or you gonna grab that doggone hand turkey that you made them years ago, that hand turkey where I made you outline your hand and then glue feathers on them. the stuff that meant the most to you is the first things in the trash. Everybody, when you die, they're looking for the jewelry. They're looking for the safe. They're looking for the firearms. They're looking for anything that's materialistically, socially worth cash. They don't even care about the things that really meant a lot to you. So all we keep doing is collecting crap. The bigger the house we get, the more crap we collect. And when we pass on, it's the more crap that we got to spend days, if not weeks, clearing out just to take to the MFing Goodwill so somebody else can go and get the crap that you didn't take with you leaving this world to fill their house full of crap that they don't even know they're going to do with. You know what they're going to do? They're going to say, oh, I've been wanting one of these. Oh, man, found one at the Goodwill. All it's missing is a leg. It got 2 good legs on it, this tripod. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to find that other leg on Amazon, and then I'm going to fix this. I'm going to have me a perfectly good tripod. You know what you're going to do? You're going to take this tripod home, this missing one good leg, and you're going to put that in a drawer, and you're never, ever, ever going to fix it, and it costs you $4.99 at the Goodwill. Even though you got a good deal on the tripod, you'll never fix it. You'll never use it. And that's $4.99 could have went on something more feasible, logical. Okay? So, sorry for that. I got a little in my feelings about that hand turkey. That one almost made me cry. Every good dad has a hand turkey somewhere in his dresser drawer or in his closet. Every good man, don't y'all got that hand turkey, that macaroni necklace, that macaroni bracelet? Jada hooked me up. Every good man somewhere got that macaroni necklace, that hand turkey, that Christmas tree made out of construction paper. We got it somewhere. That's the stuff that really means something to us. That's the stuff that we need to save, not all of this other crap. How many sets of dishes do we need? We got a set of dishes to show off with. So when all the family is over and we cooking holiday meals, we bring out the good pots because we don't want to pull out them old frying pans with the grease that been on there for 4 years, done clumped up, and it look like it's a dog. It got a damn beauty mole on the side of the damn frying pan because you've been half-ass cleaning it for the last 4 years. So your frying pans got beauty moles all around them. No, you want to pull out the Wolfgang Puck when the family come over, the shiny stuff. So while you stirring that macaroni and cheese and burning it down to the bottom, because you know that shiny stuff don't cook food right. Not our food. Them shiny pots don't do soul food right. Them old frying pans and that old pot that's missing the handle, and your uncle just drilled a hole through there and put a big screw through there. He said, you just hold the mitt, hold the dish rag on that when you about to turn it. That's gonna last another 400 years right there. That's a good pot. That was your grandmama pot. That was your grandmama pot right there. That's the good stuff. That's the dishes and the pots that we really do the real cooking. That kind of cooking where you be like, hey, hold, let me call you. I gotta call my sister. Girl, you gotta come over here. What's wrong? Nothing wrong. You gotta come over here and taste this. I done mess around. I done watch something on the doggone Food Network. I done went in here and throw half of it together, but I did my own thing. See, I did my own recipe. I throw my own spices in there. Remember that sauce I made about a week ago? I throw that on there. Come on over here. What you doing right now? You busy? Got some clothes on? It don't make no difference. Come on over here and taste this. That's the dishes we put the foot in. All these restaurants that made them famous, KFC too, he cooked that in an old shoebox. He didn't have all this fancy stuff. But we got about 3 or 4 different sets of dishes and pots to show off with. Do we really need it? We got camping dishes, camping pots, survival dishes, survival pots and forks. We got show off dishes, Wolfgang Puck. And we got that real thing that usually stay on top of the stove top with about that much cooking grease in it. Don't never go away. The same grease you've been cooking in for 2 years sitting on top of the stove top. You're like, don't clean that one. Leave that one there. Put that lid back on there. That's the stuff. But we have so many different things in our life. You don't need 3 sets of dishes. You don't need 3 sets of cooking pots. Couple good pots is all you need. But this is the world we live in. I got 2 doggone honey spinners. My bees don't even put out honey like that. I'm not that kind of beekeeper. It's just ridiculous. You know, we've all gotten ridiculous. And the only thing is now we're waking up. We waking up to the truth. And the truth is we don't need this much stuff. And I say this in every video when I'm talking like this. The movie Bad Santa at the end, when he said, listen, brother, I know you're going to kill me. I'm a piece of crap. I get it. I know why you want to kill me. But why are you so greedy? What do you need with all this stuff? Billy Bob Thornton said that to the little dude. What do you need with all this stuff, man? Y'all got everything. Why do y'all keep accumulating more stuff? I don't care about you about to off me. I get it. Just explain that to me before you finish me off. That meant the world to me because it's so true. We keep striving for more until we end up with nothing. All right, we got one more guest in here, and then we're going to cut out. I'm going to let day-to-day lifestyle come up. Day-to-day lifestyle. You ready? You ready? Here we go. Here we go. Everybody welcome day-to-day lifestyle onto the stage. How are you doing today?
I'm good. My name is Tina. I have a little bit of a different testimony because I am older. So I had the big house, the 2,000 square feet house in California.
Okay.
Served me well. My kids grew up in it.
Okay.
We moved out here. I worked for the post office. I retired from the post office after 28 and a half years.
Woo.
Retired from the post office and moved to Georgia. We rented out our house, and our tenants just moved out of our house earlier this year. So we sold our house in California. We were able to pay off our house in Georgia, and now we're ready to downsize. The bad part about it is our house in California was 2,000 square feet. Plus, we had 2 sheds in the backyard full of stuff. We moved everything out here to Georgia. So now I got to downsize. I got to get rid of all this crap. We in our 60s. So I don't want to die and leave all this crap to somebody else to go through.
Right. Right.
And now we want to downsize and find some land to move on to. And my niece is actually looking for land too. I actually emailed Lady Leia, but that's another story.
Okay.
But yeah, we have so much crap to get. We have a shed in the backyard here, and we're starting to downsize some of the stuff. My husband does classic cars, so he's starting to sell off the car. We're trying to liquidate everything.
Yes.
And that way we have less stuff to get rid of because we know we're not going to live forever. That's and we have, between the 2 of us, we have 5 kids. Well, 4 kids. So we already know we're not going to live forever. So we got to start getting rid of stuff and setting up our estate to move on, to transfer on to the kids. Right. So but we've accumulated a lot of stuff. I started about 6 months ago because when we moved out here, I'm an accountant. So I started working for the county out here. I just retired in March. So I started trying to get rid of a lot of stuff. I had every check I had ever written in my life. It took me about 2 hours to shred all those checks. Yeah, you accumulate a lot of stuff and you don't need all this stuff.
That's right.
We're in a 3-bedroom house now with a full basement. We don't even go in the basement. I leave from my bedroom and I come into my office, and that's it. If I don't have to go in the kitchen, I don't go in the kitchen. I don't go in the dining room. There's so much wasted space.
Yes. Yes.
But you know, when you have kids, you need the space.
Yeah,
When we
right.
had kids, we didn't need the space. We had the 4 bedrooms, so the kids had their own room. We needed the space.
Yes.
But now we no longer need all that.
Right. And see,
So,
I totally understand where you're coming from with that. The reason I always wanted a big house, I wanted to entertain my big family. I got 3 kids and all of them tall and big, and I knew I needed the space for them. But now that they're all grown and gone, I got my last one, he's about to be 18 and he don't even be home now.
yeah.
This is me and Lady Led in this labyrinth where we literally have to call each other just to find each other. We play hide and seek in this house for one
It's
another.
too much. It's too much. And then you clean a space because the space is, it's just gathering dust.
Right, right.
So, yeah, I'm so ready to downsize.
I'm with you. I'm with you. If anybody can feel her testimony, say I, say amen, raise your hand because I can feel it. If anybody can feel this, let us know. Y'all know we all need to downsize.
I'm also trying to start up a YouTube channel. That's why I have the different name. But,
Okay.
But I'm trying to do other stuff. I'm trying to get into consulting. I'm trying to do other stuff for me. I'm tired of working for somebody else. Like I said, I retired twice. So I'm tired of making everybody else money. I'm ready to do it for me. So
you say that right.
It's just
say that.
I'm older, so I have like a different perspective on life. But had I known all this when I was younger, I probably wouldn't have did the big house. I mean, it was nice for the kids and all, but in the end, you really don't need all that stuff.
And I'm gonna say this too. We say it was nice for the kids, and we did this for our kids. I'm gonna say no, we didn't. We did this for our own egos. Let's be honest with all of us together. We really did this for all of our egos, really. Because you know what? There are children out there that was raised in way less, and they were in paradise. There are kids that was raised out there in the country.
Yeah.
And they were in paradise. They didn't care about 4 different bathrooms. They didn't listen. I was born in a 3-bedroom home, 1 bathroom, and it was upstairs. My whole childhood life till I moved out of the house at 16. My whole life, right? I never thought waiting to go pee was a problem in that house. I never thought finding somewhere to sleep with all this family was a problem. What we call pallets. Go grab you a blanket, fold it up, lay on the floor, and find somewhere to sleep. It wasn't always a bed for everybody, and it was never questioned.
Yeah.
Once I got older and got out into the world, true story, once I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, me and my wife, that was the first time and I never forget, I moved in with my brother, and that was the first time I had ever seen a house with more than 1 bathroom in it.
Oh, wow.
And that was year 2000, 2001, somewhere around there. He had 3.5 bathrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, something like that. I said, where's all these butts at? What is now that's all you see. And when I see a house with 1 bathroom, we turn our nose up to houses with 1 bathroom now, right?
Yeah. 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 But it's just too much.
It is. And I'm sure everybody can testify and agree with you 100% on that.
Yeah.
So I want to say
thank you for having me. I was so nervous getting on here.
For what? For what? It's just me. It's just me. Right?
Oh boy.
And I want to tell you, hearing your testimony is what people need. I don't know what I just did. Let me see. Hold on a second. I don't know what I just hit something crazy. Start showing me all kind of schematics. Oh, okay, there we go. I want to say thank you and to everybody else that came up and gave their testimony, because just like I did with the shed, it's a lot of people need to see that, and it's a lot of people watching us need to hear exactly what you just said, because there's a lot of folks that think they're crazy. They think that they're supposed to have all of this stuff, and they're the only ones that think that maybe I shouldn't have this.
Yeah.
But once we all come together and start realizing you don't need this.
Mm-hmm. Especially once you get up in age, you don't want to leave a bunch of stuff for somebody else to have to go through and get rid of.
Now that's really
it's
me.
It's easier for you to get rid of it.
That's me. That's me.
You know. So.
Honestly, I have like 3 motorcycles, and it's like, for what? I got one butt, right? What am I doing this for? After a while, it gets ridiculous. And I always think if I was to leave this earth today, I would not want to leave this burden to my wife.
Yeah.
You know, and it would just be on top of heartbreak after somebody passes. We also have to go through their memories and their jotted down notes and, you know, things that they had planned for next week. That's just excruciating for everybody involved. I do not want to leave this world with all of my what am I supposed to do on YouTube tomorrow notes everywhere. You know, I don't want that.
Also, before I leave, I have you beat. I retired from the post office in December 31st, 2008. I was a window clerk. I still have my uniforms.
Don't get me started. Listen, every month I see these uniforms. I'm like, why do I hold on to this? Like, I'm never going back. I pray I'm never going back. And what am I wearing? I'm going to be honest with you. I know why. The first reason I kept my postal uniform. I kept my postal uniform not because I knew I was going back, because I wasn't. I kept them because I don't know what those uniforms are made of, but they're the best materials I ever put on my body. The sweat, the rain, I don't know how it wicks the water and the sweat off of us. I don't know what the material was made out of on all our postal uniforms, but it's almost NASA-like. Okay?
Yeah. Plus, you guys have winter gear.
Yeah, I got plenty of winter gear.
Yeah.
Boots, gloves, hats, you name it. I got, we got our allowances. I went off with all my allowances. So yeah.
But it was good talking to you.
All right. Well, thank you so much. What you say your name is? Tina?
Tina.
And now, Tina, one last question. Did you contact me about a village or something, some kind of tiny home village?
I don't think so. I know I emailed Lady Led.
Okay.
But I was emailing her about land once I seen that she's doing real estate.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for coming up, all right?
Thank you for having me.
All right. Now, y'all go check out Day-to-Day Lifestyle, Miss Tina, and go check out her channel. She's just starting to get her YouTube channel started, everybody. And I want to say one thing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just like that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to click you off like that. I want to say this too, if I can find her, if she's still in here. I want everybody to go over and check out my sister, Pieces of April. Pieces of April, if you're in here, I just want to bring you up here, even if you're in the background somewhere listening, if you can come up real quick. Miss Pieces of April, aka the other half of African Dreaming. And everybody is always picking a team. I'm gonna pick Team Japril. Japril. I said it. Yes, I did. Team Japril. Because I'm down for both of y'all. If she is here, I would like her to come into the chat just for a hot minute. If she can, or if anybody can locate her and tell her to get her self right in here real quick. I'll put the link back in the chat. I'm looking for Pieces of April, the other half of African Dreaming. I'm looking for. Yes, Japril, Team Japril. I'm down for the whole married couple. Okay, everybody always picking one. I'm picking them both. All right. I'm gonna keep my eye out. If y'all see her come in the room, if she ends up coming in the room, please let me know. And just keep on getting on my nerve with it if she pop in the room so I can click on her. Coming to the stage right now. I thought we was gonna get out of here, but I think I got a little bit more time for my friend here, Miss Grammy Midwife. We all know and love her. Everybody, she's a fellow beekeeper and a YouTuber. Welcome to the stage. I'm still keeping my eye out for you, Team Japril. Black's Tropical Homestead in the house. What's going on? I got so much to ask y'all. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell y'all when I get off here what we're going to end up doing. Hello, Grammy Midwife.
Hey, Mr. Dad. How are you doing?
Doing okay. How are you?
A long time no see. Oh my gosh.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
so good to see you. I just want to stay on here for a couple minutes and say everything everybody has said on here. I feel from the depth of my soul. I have been downsizing, I swear, for years. It seems that way anyway. But we lived in a 14 by 40 cabin. My husband, when I went to Mississippi to work after I became a midwife, he moved out of our house, and my daughter and her husband moved in it. And so he moved over there to that 14 by 40 cabin. And when I left Mississippi, I came back and I lived in that cabin with him. And since then, we've moved into my mom and dad's old house. But
Okay.
and that's where I'm making my little homestead. But it's so doable. And back then, we bought that in 2010. I think it was 14,000 we had in it. And we had my son-in-law came over and wired it and put in the insulation. We had a split unit, one of those little
The
what are they?
mini split.
Yeah, the mini split. We had that in there, and it was nice. It was cozy.
Okay.
Of course, my husband worked night shifts. He didn't put any windows in it. That drove me crazy.
Right. Right. That's okay.
But when we moved over here, this house is a bit bigger. But everybody's right. You live in basically 3 or 4 rooms of your house.
Right.
This house we remodeled the 2 bathrooms and made it one big one. We have a little 1 bedroom my husband declared as his man cave, and that's our little den that we watch TV in.
Right.
And my living room and dining room mostly holds all my gardening stuff and my bee stuff and my chicken stuff.
Right. Right. Right.
It's there for my grandkids to enjoy when they come over. But yeah, I mean, I don't even know how many loads of stuff I have taken away from my house this year.
See.
It's unreal. But
See.
this Swedish death cleaning, somebody mentioned in the chat, I found that book and I started reading it. And I was like, this makes so much sense. You said in one of your lives one time, and I'll never forget it. It's been several months ago now, talking about heirlooms passed down to their children. And people don't realize that sometimes those heirlooms are just something that your mama or your grandmama found at a garage sale that really didn't mean a hill of beans to them.
Right. Right.
So why hang on to it? Just pass it on, let somebody else enjoy it, you know?
Exactly.
But listen, I'm going to get out of here. I just
Okay.
want to say I love you and Lady Led,
Thank
and I'm
you.
going to catch you on more lives. I just happened to catch this one when I got off work today.
Thank you so much. And I'm always watching y'all. Y'all keeping those bees. I can sit and watch those long bee videos. So
I love it. You instilled that love in me, and I am addicted. I am so addicted to the beekeeping thing.
yes, I got to get out here and get that fall harvest off of there myself.
I think we're going to have a fall harvest. I didn't do well this year in the spring because it was just, I don't know, it was a weird year. But we pulled about 180 pounds of spring honey. And I put 3 supers on the other day, so I think we may actually get a goldenrod flow. So I'm looking forward to it.
I know we're going to get a heart. I looked in there not too long ago, and before I left the camping, I was like, I got to get that out there before they take off. I know I got something. I got about a good 100 in there right now. I know
Well, that's wonderful. We fought beetles and mites and
it.
wax moths this summer. It's been rough,
Yeah,
but we bounced back. The bees are making it, so
that's
you know.
right.
But listen, I got to go gather eggs. So y'all have a good day.
Thank you. See you later, okay?
All right, bye
All
bye.
right. Y'all go check out Grammy Midwife on her channel. She is here and she's one of our fellow YouTubers, and she is a fellow beekeeper, one of the SOBs. So, with that being said, you guys, um, did anybody else want to come up? You know what? Uh, did anybody want to come up and give their testimony before I go, so we can make this a full 2 hours? We got 5 minutes. 5 minutes. One last testimony from anybody that's even thinking about downsizing in their life, downsizing in their weight, downsizing their homestead, and let's try to put our lives back on track. Anybody besides me? Because this is what we're going to start doing. We're going to start doing uh, Tiny Home Tuesday. Tiny Homes is not just about tiny homes. Tiny homes will be about downsizing in everyday life. Everything from how much food we eat to how much spending we do, how much crap we collect, how big of a house we live in. The reason they're able to sell all these big houses, let me just make this clear to you. The reason they're able to sell all these big houses to us because of our egos, because we'll buy them. It's our egos. We're purchasing, trying to purchase our egos. And that's it. I don't know what's the saying. You know how they say guys got all this big stuff because they're trying to compensate for other things. I say that goes for everybody. Just saying. Just saying. Uh-oh, one more in the house before we call it a day. One more in the house. Miss Toya's Pantry,
Hey,
Farm 72. How you doing today? It's good to see you.
right. It's good to see you.
Yes, ma'am. How you doing today?
Man, yeah, I'm I'm transporting stuff.
Okay. Okay. You had to start with man. Whew.
Speaking of downsizing, it's crazy because yeah, you had mentioned about estate.
Yes.
Yes, all the stuff,
Mm.
and it literally is stuff,
Yes.
and some of it more sentimental than anything else.
Exactly. Exactly.
Picking through, weeding through things that you really want, and it might take years before you finally figure that out.
That's right.
And then when it's your turn, you coming into your own to like I am. Man, I got so much to tell about. I mean, I basically had a living estate sale just this past weekend because I'm trying to, get out to the farm and everything.
Right.
And at the end of the day, the stuff that you have, it's just becomes so overwhelming. And then if your money ain't right, if your resources ain't right, how you gonna do it? And then if you are still tied to the system where you're paying somebody else,
Right.
you get stressed, and that extra stress comes up the moment that first is getting ready to come around.
There you go. There you go.
So
There
but
you go.
I tripped out because at the end of the day, I was ready to go donate it all to Habitat for Humanity because nobody else wanted it.
See.
And instead of doing that, one of my neighbors caught me. Now, I had been in this place for about 3, going on 4 years. And, you know, they really hadn't seen me just but in passing.
Right.
And so, but they're like, wait, you moving? Oh, can we look inside? Can we see? I'm like, my house is a hot mess, but sure, come on in.
See, nosy.
But let me tell you something. I don't know, I'm a true believer in the big God.
Amen. Amen.
He's got a plan for everything.
Yes.
But I let her come in, and we got to talk, and I was telling her, I just, give me a donation, and you can run with it.
Right.
By the time it was all said and done, instead of it going all to Habitat, whoever, for them to mark it all up, because they would have marked it all up for people to come in and buy. She was, I think, one of 12 children. And she had a family of her own, and everybody else was grown and had children of their own. Even had her mama. They came. And I kid you not, I thought it was just, maybe the one person.
Right.
All my furniture's gone.
Wow.
Everything from the bed that I slept on, the couches, everything that I brought up from Texas that I wanted, brand new stuff that I had paid for. They got what they wanted, and the siblings got what they wanted. And the thing is, I had to transport it because I had, the little trailer, like I got behind, Hey, I told her I don't have the manpower, but I'll help you, get it to where it need to be, but you got to provide the manpower. I kid you not. I think they cleaned me out. They cleaned me out of everything.
Wow.
She made her teeny tiny, and I mean it was teeny tiny because I told her, look, I don't care if it's $1, I don't care if it's $5, whatever you decide in your heart, you can donate.
Right.
And I ended up going to about 5 or 6 different houses dropping off stuff.
Wow.
And this was people, I'm originally from Georgia, right? And the first people from Mississippi and Florida, and they made, just being around them, I felt so much. I was around family. I was around family, and I loved how they moved. They had their own agenda, but I love how they all came together. I mean, like her husband, he had so and so. Come on, y'all. They came, packed that stuff up. I wore them out for a day.
There you go.
But they all came through, got whatever they needed or wanted upgrade for their house, and it was a blessing to them. So I'm glad it went out that way. But yeah, at the end of the day, where I know where I'm going, and I know what I had to look forward to. And you think about, well, do you have any regrets about that, right? Because sometimes it's like you feel a little bit sad because you hope that your own family will want some of that, but good and well they don't want none of that.
No.
And they pretty much said they don't want none of that, but the fact that it went somewhere to help somebody else. And for me, I didn't realize how impoverished in the mindset we can be. And I don't know, I mean, like, these people work. They work hard, they make good, but the man is anywhere you have to pay somebody else, they own you.
and that's the reason for this whole video is look at what happens if we don't downsize. If you don't volunteer to downsize, you'll be downsized. When it comes to, I'll never forget. Well, there's times and there's some people where you could go through a bankruptcy. I've seen this. Go through a bankruptcy, and instead of selling off all this bull crap and trying to make good on what you owe and who you owe, people are cling on to that last stuff. and it's just gonna get taken from you anyway for free.
Yeah.
And that's just how this works. I know people that own several cars and none of them are paid for. None of them. They're making car payments on every one of those vehicles.
Wow.
And I thought about this for my own self. If I was in that situation, and one thing we all need to really start thinking about, even as we age, you don't have to be so old where you hurt yourself. You can just be young and hurt yourself and be out of the game.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
And how are you going to make that money to pay for all of this stuff, your house, your lights, your gas, and so on and so forth? That's something we need to keep in the back of our head. For instance, you buy your land, you put your you put this big old house on your land, you still got to maintain it.
Mm-hmm.
You get hurt, what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
You can probably pull something off with a smaller house or a smaller situation. A big house, that place is going to turn into your grave.
Yeah. But yeah, it ain't easy, but I think for me, at the end of the day, it's worth it because you can't take it with you when you go.
No. You know something? I'm going to say this again for you. It's just stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you, when we moved to South Carolina, we sold everything. And I like the way you put that. A living estate sale. We had that living estate sale because we turned our house inside out, brought everything we owned and put it on the front lawn. And when I tell you the prices were so ridiculous, my kids was crying, my family thought I was crazy because I never forget, this one hurt me to my soul. Because my daughter loved this one of the first electric bikes before electric bikes was a thing. She had this little electric scooter with a seat on it. And I bought that for her birthday. And when this older man came and sat on it, she lost it. And she was like, "But that's mine, sir." He looked up at me and I was like, I knew I was going to crush her little spirit, but I knew I can get her another one. I know how this works. It's going to hurt her for a minute, and I promise you, I sold that thing. I probably paid back then $300 or $400 for it. I sold it for like $50. I sold a saltwater aquarium. I think it was 100-gallon saltwater aquarium acrylic, and I sold it for $50. The fish that was in it was $100 and $200 a piece.
Man.
But I sold it all for $50 because I knew I can get more stuff later. Mm-hmm. It's just stuff. And we haven't thought about that stuff in 20 years.
Yeah. Wow.
It hurt for a minute, when you're driving down the road, wiping your tears. But for the most part, it's just stuff. We are addicted to stuff.
Yeah.
It's all to it.
Yeah, but it's good to see you. Thank you for letting me up here.
Thank you for coming up here.
Yeah.
Thank you. And be careful out there.
Yep.
Right. Yep. Okay. Yep. Bye-bye. Everybody check out Toya's Pantry Farm 72. We got one more coming in the room. You ready, my sister? One more. I ain't going to put the link up no more. One more. Miss Spice and Spray Paint. Spice and Spray Paint. That's a new one to me. I was still looking for pieces of April. She still ain't came back. Here we go. Spices and Spray Paint. Number one, before we get started, you got to explain his name to me.
What's up, Uncle Ed? Well, my name, it's a play on a couple of things that I'm into. I'm a chef and a food scientist, but I also dabble in the arts. So spices and spray paint, that's my jam.
Okay. Okay, because it was interesting. I'm like, spices and spray paint now. You got to explain
Yeah, I
that.
get that a lot. Like, you don't mix them together, do you? No, not really.
That was
But
my next question. That was my next question. Like, you don't mix them up, do you now?
nah, not really. Doesn't
Got,
make for good eating.
got. How are you doing today?
So I really appreciate the dialogue and the discussion today about like the downsizing and, just kind of want to share a little bit about some of my experience too. Because I
Okay.
recently, last year, it made a year earlier in September, moved into my first home. And so that whole downsizing thought process, knocking out the clutter, is just something that's really been like super mainstream in my head. And so I dropped it in the chat earlier. It's a book that I was reading called The Afro Minimalist Guide to Living with Less by Christine
Right.
Platt. And that joint was like a game changer. And so I kind of had me thinking about, the wants versus the needs. What do I want to pay to bring over to the new house versus what do I need to have at the new house?
That's
And
right.
so, it's really been a process, but it's been one that I've been enjoying, just curating my space. Things that I don't have, I can learn how to make some things. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little on the creative side, you know what I'm saying? A DIYer in some respects. And even with like, me celebrating being in the crib for a year for my housewarming, I was just kind of like, I really don't need gifts because I don't want things. But if we could have a little something to go towards a home improvement project, you know what I'm saying? Like that's where the value lies for me. And so I'm still, learning it, walking my own journey with it, but it's been rewarding. I'm super excited. And yeah, like it's just been the bomb.
Ain't it exhilarating when you move to that other level, and not just with that to that other level, but to that other level with less stuff
Yes.
to deal with?
Yes. Yeah. It's like when people come and visit, one of the first things they say is just your place is so airy. Like, it's so airy. Not that it's empty.
Right.
But you can kind of move around. You're not bumping into something every few feet,
Right.
That whole deal.
That's what we call the cha-cha slide. When you come and slide to the left, coffee table, slide
to
to
your
the
right.
TV, big booty TV, flat screen TV. We all got houses like that, but I totally understand.
That part, most definitely. So yeah, I've just really been enjoying it. I'll be looking, keep looking at the series. I've been kind of watching the Greenhouse Lounge for some years now, but I rarely get to make it into a live. So I just wanted to stop by, say what's up, love you, love Lady Led, and I still owe you an email about my sad little peach tree, but I'm gonna email you.
I'm waiting. Well,
Most
thank you, my sister. Everybody, Spices and Spray Paint. Go check out her channel. She's up here and telling us her journey. This is why I love doing this. Thank you.
And actually, with my page, I'm just getting it started. Most of my content has been on Instagram, but some people have been saying, "Come on over to YouTube. You got so much more to say." So I'll be putting some stuff up soon.
Yeah, come on over here.
Most
all right,
def.
hang out with us.
Most
Thank
def.
you, my sister.
All right,
Congratulations, here. All right, bye. All right, one last one. Y'all keep popping in. And look, I'm normally the one like, look, I'm gonna just be on here for a minute. Y'all ain't heard me say that all day. All day I have not said I'm just gonna be on here for a minute. I promise this time I mean it from my soul. I ain't said it, so I'm blaming this one on y'all. Matter of fact, do me a favor. When you first come on here, Miss Beyond Comfort, can you say, I'm gonna just be on here for a minute? Because I heard that from somebody else a little while back. I'm just popping in real quick. Say, I'm gonna just be in here for a minute. Everybody, welcome to the stage, Beyond Comfort. How you doing today?
Hi. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And yes, I am going to be on here for just a minute.
Yeah, okay.
I've been listening to you and I've been listening to your other guest. And I don't remember which guest it was that brought up the subject of getting rid of stuff from your house and how almost like a hoarding situation. And I wanted to tell you, I came on because I wanted to share how I got into this idea of living free, living tiny, living on the road. I was introduced to the idea of this whole concept of getting free, living. I'm sorry if there's noise. I'm sitting
Fine.
inside.
That's fine. We don't mind
Okay.
roll rage out there.
I was introduced to this whole idea of um, living off grid, getting free, and all of those kind of things through the van life movement, through the RV life and the bus life and all of that. And there was another aspect of my life that kind of pushed me towards that mindset on the subject of hoarding.
Yes.
For the last 6 years, I've been helping a friend of mine get rid of her mom's estate. Unfortunately, or fortunately, however you choose to look at it, this lady was wealthy. She had a lot of money, but she was also a hoarder. Through the process of dealing with my friend's mom's estate and all of the stuff that she had collected for like 60 years, I mean, her house was filled from floor to ceiling with things that she had collected. She couldn't really enjoy her life because of this hoard. And in my opinion, just looking on her life, it really robbed her of the life she could have had. Finances weren't an issue for her. You know, they were very comfortable finance wise. You know, there was nothing they could not afford, but because of the life that they had chosen to live with this hoard, it robbed them of so many opportunities they could have had. And so looking at my friend's mom's situation and then being introduced to the van life and the RV life and the bus life and all of that, I said, you know, I could do this.
Yeah.
I need to do this. You know, and I started looking around my own house and the things that I had collected over the years. And I'm like, I don't need all of this stuff. Like you were saying earlier, we get caught up in this idea of trying to live like the Joneses, basically.
Yes.
We're trying to impress other people with a lot of the stuff that we accumulate. But the reality is sometimes those things become a burden to us.
Yes.
And when we decide to, if we ever get to that place mentally and emotionally where we want to break free, you know, we want to change our lifestyles, then we have all of this stuff holding us back because now we've got to go through this process of downsizing and how do I get rid of this stuff? And then some of these things may be valuable, you know, and you just don't want to give those things away. You know what I'm saying?
They're usually true story. Again, with my story of us moving to South Carolina and getting rid of everything, they're usually not valuable. And I think that's the problem we have. And for how it begins hoarding is our definition of value is screwed up. And it's more about our emotions and how things make us feel versus how important are they? How necessary are they? And this is where that gets a little loopy, is where we think we need something because that soothes my comfort. Just it's like anything, alcoholism, foodism, drug addict, it could be anything. Things that soothe our emotions, we think we need it. It could be your favorite blanket from being a child, teddy bear. I know a lot of people that collect teddy bears and got 2 rooms full of teddy bears, you know?
Yes, I get it.
And, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
You know.
I agree. But yeah, I just wanted to come on and make that point. I mean, you guys touched on a lot of things and I agree with everything that's been said. But I thought it was important to come on and just kind of remind people how things can become a burden for us, especially when we make the decision that we want to get free. You know, we want to change our way of living. We want to change our way of thinking, even about our possessions, like you're saying. You know, these things can weigh down the process of us getting free, getting to that place of freedom. So yeah, it's important to not only change our way of living, but it's important to change the way we think about the things that we own, the things that we possess. Why do I feel like I need to have these things, like you were saying earlier? You know, what value does this really hold? You know, what's more important, this stuff or the relationships I have or that I'm trying to build? You know, that freedom that I'm looking to obtain. What's more important? So yeah. Yeah. So
Yes.
I am getting off now. I said I was going to be on here for just a
We
short while.
on here for a minute. But I'm going to say this. I thank you for your testimony, because that's an area that we didn't quite touch on, that you just hit all the points on. That is, sometimes some of this stuff can become hoarding. And it's easy, it's a thin line to slip off into hoardism. And I'm about on walking that thin line myself with all these products that I need to,
Right.
But that's the thing. We all get caught up in that. For instance, it could be your job. A lot of people will have a job where they say, look, I'm bringing my work home. And you got a one box of files that you need to go through. And you keep doing that every week. And you see, it's easy to stumble off into that world.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, again, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Right.
And I'm going to go back to the chat room.
And you know what? I hope you come back and join us every Tuesday. And just, I love that. So thank you, my
Absolutely.
sister.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Okay. Bye-bye.
Everybody, thank you so much for being here tonight with all of us. I'm glad I wasn't the only one running my mouth. I wanted to truly show everybody here everybody else's testimony. You always get a chance here in the Greenhouse Lounge to hear my perspective, my point of view. But it's nothing more exciting than hearing other people's point of view that's thinking just like you, that has the same mindset, that's going on the same journey, is going through the same rough patches and difficulties. It makes it more real. You can hear me talk all day, and that's just one person out of how many billions, trillions. But when you start hearing groups of people going through the same thing, it starts making sense. And then it starts letting you know we've been doing this all wrong. With that being said, everybody, thank you for joining us here in the Greenhouse Lounge. This has been one of my most favorite videos I probably ever put out in my life, because everything you guys came in and shared with me touched my soul, because all of it was part of me. J3GS Farm, my brother, man, thank you for coming. Thank you, that guy from Texas, Chris. Everybody has been in here. T-Nog slid in here, and I barely saw her. So T-Nog, thank you for coming over. And my cart runneth over. My cart runneth over. I need you in the chat. And thank you, Yah's work. Thank you, my brother. Real quick, everybody. My cart runneth over. Can you please come into the chat? I want to see my cart runneth over. Please click on the link. I just put it in the chat. I want to speak to personally. My cart runneth over, and it's going to take literally everybody 2 minutes. Time me. As soon as my cart runneth over comes into the chat, please, you can time me on this, because I have an announcement to make. My cart runneth over. I think I'm putting a link in the chat, am I? Thought I was. If my cart runneth over, maybe I messed it up. Let's try it again. My cart runneth over. Come into the chat with me real quick, my sister, if you could, please. I keep putting it. Oh, there you go. I am putting it in. There you go. All right. Thank you, my sister. I know you probably wasn't ready. I know this was like last minute, right out the gate, but welcome. My cart runneth over. Thank you for joining me. I just wanted to say one thing, my sister. One thing.
Yes.
I am so proud of you. I am
Thank
so
you. And hey, Greenhouse Lounge, you know I rock hard for the Greenhouse Lounge. I love all of y'all. Y'all are so smart. Oh my gosh.
see.
Mm-mm-mm.
So if everybody didn't know, my cart runneth over joined us on the survival slumber party camp in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, just at the beginning of this month. And she was talking about starting her YouTube channel. And I told her we are here to support here in the Greenhouse Lounge. And that's exactly what the Greenhouse Lounge family did. When I clicked on your channel, I think you had about 4 people subscribe. I think my
Listen, more than that, y'all done came through out this piece. I was like, oh my gosh. You know, my kids think I'm cool now.
social media, right? So
They like, ooh, mommy.
thank you, Donna Divine Prepper. Thank you, my sister. Now, with this being said, everybody, before you leave today, this is the announcement I wanted to make. My cart runneth over is almost at her 1,000 subscriber mark. If anybody can go to her channel and put her link to her channel up and subscribe to this young lady with all this information about camping gear and camping and her lifestyle with her and her children, please go over and subscribe to our sister and let's show her some real, true Greenhouse Lounge love. Can somebody put her channel,
Thank y'all.
her okay, thank you 65 Miracles, say I subscribe. Main course encouragement, say I will subscribe. All right, thank you Karima, thank you so much for that. Everybody, if we can go and support our sister and show her why hanging out with us here in the Greenhouse Lounge, this is the best family to be hanging out with right here. Because when we say we support, we frick fracking mean it. I said frick fracking. I didn't even
That's right. Y'all support, but y'all cool. I be on everybody channel sipping all the tea all the way around. I be lurking in the comments. I be writing down notes. I be all in y'all stuff.
That's right. Thank you, Tambu. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, TX Lala. Thank you, Beyond Comfort. Thank you, Q Dub. Thank you, P. Williams, J3GS Farm, Grammy Midwife, Willie Sir. Thank you, Miss TT. Thank you, Joan.
Thank y'all.
Because
I appreciate y'all.
this is what we do here. My channel is y'all's channel, and this the only way we ever move forward. If we don't support, the reason I'm making this video today, I could keep all this knowledge to myself. What good is it going to do me? It'll do me a lot of good. What good is it going to do you if you don't know? How many people in here did not know about that doggone shed being built yourself for $17,000? We support everybody here in the Greenhouse Lounge. And my sister, I want to say again, the information is over there banging, and I appreciate you. Thank you, Growing What I Eat. Thank you, my brother. That's for you right there. My cart runneth over.
Thank y'all.
Okay.
I love y'all. Y'all my family. I can't wait to see y'all in February. And let me tell y'all, Led did not tell me to do none of that. Listen, I just came through. I'm on the glamping committee. That's all. Okay. This is his show. I'm just on the glamping committee. I'm just excited. Because he be forgetting. He ain't say nothing last time. He said one video, we going camping, one video. I had to send a message. I said, hey, I'm excited. Can we talk about the camp trip? Like, oh, it's sold out. So guess what? Over on my channel, we are preparing for February. I'm showing y'all what I have and reminding everybody, please come in February, and camping could be what you make it. It doesn't have to be, it could be as small or as big. Okay, you just need the basics and you come and have a good time because the Greenhouse Lounge don't play. They are welcoming. It don't matter. Look, I got stuff. If you listen, okay, we can borrow. Okay, we family. Listen, come on through. We got you. We ain't gonna let you just be outside with Randy.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you and congratulations. And thank everybody for going over and subscribing to My Cart Runneth Over. So thank you, Garden State Gardener. Thank you for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, family. I love y'all so much. Thank you.
Thank you, my sister. Hey, listen, everybody, that's how we do it, okay? Now, listen, I'm going to get out of here real quick because we've been on here for 2.5 hours. At least I didn't say we're going to be on here for a hot minute, right? So, everybody, thank you so much for coming by. I hope this information helped you guys out. If you have any questions whatsoever, please put it in the comment section below. If you want to go check out any of the people that I had a guest here today, go check out their channels. Subscribe, click on them, and make sure you keep them in your pocket because these is all good people and they're going through the same lifestyle and the same thing we're all going through. Okay. So with that being said, everybody, I want to say thank you. Laird Farmer 73, I love you, and I'm out. Guava. Every Tuesday, Tiny Tuesday Talk on Tuesdays from now on. We all got a lot to share. So if you got some stories you had to tell, meet me back here Tuesday, same time, same place. We're going to talk about it. Laird Farmer 73, I love you, and I'm out. Guava, everybody. Peace.